understanding the phrase, worn thin. Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll explore the meaning of the English phrase, worn thin. This is a commonly used expression that might not be immediately clear if you're hearing it for the first time. Let's dive in. Worn is the past participle of the verb, wear. When something is worn, it has been used or experienced to the point of being changed, often not for the better. The word thin, in this context, describes something that is less thick than it was originally. When materials, like clothes or shoes, are used repeatedly, they might get thinner with time. Imagine an old pair of socks that you've worn for years. They might become so thin that you can see through them. So, in a literal sense, worn thin describes something that has been used so much that it has become thin. More often, the phrase, worn thin, is used in a figurative way. It's used to describe situations, feelings, or patience that have been exhausted or diminished over time. For example, my patience has worn thin after waiting for hours. His excuses have worn thin with his boss. In these examples, worn thin doesn't refer to actual physical wear and tear, but rather to the diminishing tolerance or patience for a situation. To help you better understand, let's see a few more examples. 1. The novelty of the new toy worn thin after a few days, and the kids were onto something else. 2. The constant noise from the construction site has worn thin on the residents' nerves. 3. Their repeated attempts to delay the meeting have worn thin with the committee. So there you have it. The phrase, worn thin, can refer to something physical becoming thinner from use, but it's more commonly used to describe feelings or situations that have become less tolerable over time. Next time you hear or read this phrase, you'll know exactly what it means. We hope this video has been helpful, and remember, English is full of colorful expressions that add richness to the language. Happy learning!